Time for our first topic.
Credit cards.
We're outside of the Johnson house. Am I even on?
Keep going with your story. The people can keep looking at me. I'm visually interesting.
That's one way of putting it. Look, it's not gonna work this way.
As you wish.
We're still outside the Johnson house, where they've been battling with credit card debt for years, and they're not alone. Did you know the average house has over $8,000 in credit card debt?
To pay off that $8,000, if you have an interest rate of 18% and all you paid was the minimum payments, it would take you over 50 years and you would pay out over $30,000, all to pay off that original $8,000 debt. That's how much credit can cost. I'm talking with Bruce and Beverly. They currently have 2 credit cards and $8,000 in credit card debt. Like most people, their trouble with credit cards started early.
Well, I got my first credit card when I was 18. I was in college. I didn't really know how to keep control or to track what I was spending.
Let's talk about how credit cards work. The company that issues you the credit card will set a maximum limit on how much you can charge on it. Each purchase adds to your balance, the amount you owe. But there's more. The credit card company will charge interest on the amount of money you owe, and if you don't pay it off each month, an extra fee if you are late. Most credit cards have high interest rates. It's an easy but expensive way to borrow money.
Let's get back to Bruce and Beverly Johnson. They had no idea about interest rates or the cost of credit, and they didn't have a definite time plan to pay off their credit card debts. After college, when they got married, they still didn't have a plan. They did learn the hard way about fine print.
The big print gave and the little print took away.
They didn't get the advertised interest rate, and it went up after 3 months.
Yeah, we weren't keeping the best track of what we were doing. We didn't really keep track of how much we owed.
And that was our thinking trap. We just kept spending and paying the monthly minimum without thinking about what it was costing us.
Then, a real-world risk struck.
And then Bruce lost his job, and we started using it for bills and just thinking, oh, he'll get a new job soon and we'll just pay it off later. But we just kept getting more and more bills, and it kind of got out of control. And before we knew it, we were just in this debt trap. And we could only afford the minimum monthly payment, and sometimes we couldn't afford that. And it's not fun getting notices that you're going to collections or maybe a lawsuit.
Those were some tough times. But anyway, I got hired again at a new job. The salary's not as high as my old job, but I took it anyway.
That was 3 years ago. Their credit card debt maxed out at over $13,000.
And that's when we decided to do something about our credit card debt. I mean, together. So we stopped using the card, and we called the credit card company and got our interest rate lowered. And we committed to paying as much as we could each month on the credit card. And we made a good budget, and we stuck to it.
And we're still doing that. We sold a car, share one now. We don't eat out that much. Let's see, we got rid of premium cable, just things like that.
I fell in love with PBS.
They have lowered their credit card debt from $13,000 3 years ago to $8,000 today. And they have plans to pay that off.
We should have that done in about a year.
Which is about 50 years earlier than we had just paid the minimum on the card.
We think about how much this has cost us. All the places we could have spent that money or saved it, but we're doing something about it now.
Bruce, Beverly, thank you for talking with us about credit cards.
How is Ken not ready? What? Right now? Yeah. Yes, we are here with Bruce and Beverly. Beverly, you mentioned PBS. Did you see the program on the river dance?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yes.
And there you have it. A story of financial pain and healing, and a completely random question about the river dance. Let's reiterate some important points from the Johnsons.
Know your interest rate. Make some phone calls to lower it. Be persistent.
See if your interest rate is introductory and will go up in a few months. Also, know that interest rates can jump if you're late with a payment. That's in addition to a late charge.
When you have a card, keep track of and control your unpaid balance. Make a plan to pay it off. Remember, a little bad management can create a lot of bad credit card debt.
Always make more than just the minimum payment. Only making minimum payments on your debt will take you much longer and cost you much more to pay it off.
Make a budget. Stick to it. If your credit card debt is growing, you're spending too much.
And remember, high credit card debt can affect your other borrowing opportunities.
Credit card debt can make you vulnerable.
If you encounter a big unexpected expense like a health issue or car troubles, and you already have high credit card debt, your financial mess will become a nightmare. Other good credit card rules? Don't use more than 75% of your available credit. Make your payments on or ahead of the due date. And do not apply for several credit cards because that affects your credit score. So think twice before you go for that free t-shirt.